networking and making relationships, can you tell us, you said there's like 3 core reasons why people should do it. Could you share those?
Well, I'll share it in relation to how I view myself and what I've learned. I've learned 3 things in life fundamentally. Number 1, there ain't no free lunch. Therefore, I need to work with other people, which is the second thing, because all the inspirational things we learn are pointed toward what we are destined to become, which I still don't know what that is for me, but I know I can't get there without you, and that's networking, right? So, no free lunch, got to work for what you get, obviously, in pursuit of your destiny, and that can't happen, the fulfillment of it can't happen without completion with other people, networking.
Now, I want to go back to ACT, because in the new book and the new movie that we got coming out called Think and Grow Red Stickability, we feature Mike as one of our top leading experts. And one of the things, he had a really interesting quality situation, so to speak. You see, when he sold his business, what year was that when you guys sold?
1993, June 3rd, 1993.
Before the internet really became what it was today, and you sold ACT for how much money?
$47 million.
Not a bad shot, right? But here's the big thing, is that, and how old were you at that time?
42.
So one of the challenges that he had, though, think about it, you're 42 years old, and you just had your big hit, and you wonder if that's it. You know, you wonder if that was what your shot was. You know, so many people strive and thrive to the pursuit of excellence. And once you've hit it, you kind of question yourself and say, is that it, or is there more? How did you handle that situation?
That's a good question, Greg. It was hard. It was great at first because I got to regain my life. I got off the fast track, which I enjoyed, but I was able to enjoy other things that I had sacrificed because of the pursuit of ACT, which was growing on a global scale. I don't know if you know, but over 10 million people in the world have bought it. Probably 10 to 20 million stole it because it was a here's my diskettes, just copy it era. $400 product still on the market after 26 years and still a leader. I mean, how many software products can claim that, right? But I didn't know that, nor did the other co-inventor, that was going to happen. But so we sold the company, and it was great. But after a while, I started to feel depressed, despondent, because I was no longer important. I wasn't involved. I wasn't engaged. I wasn't networking. And I miss that because I'm all about relationships. I mean, that's why I, co-invented ACT, because I needed it myself too to be more successful. And so many years went by, and I really was lost, and everything in my life was anticlimactic, Greg. I got to tell you that for the honest answer. I did things, of course. It's not like I needed a psychiatrist or I was on drugs or anything, none of that. But everything was not as fun or as passionate as ACT once was. And the way I looked at ACT was this: if that was the definition of my life, then I was empty. I was lost because I was 42. What about the rest of my life? So the way I chose to look at it was success should be a springboard and not a hammock. There had to be something in the future, but I didn't know what it was until 2009 when I had the epiphany for VIP Orbit.
And basically, VIP Orbit, pun intended, is your second act.
It's my second act. I mean, it's not that I'm trying to be like ACT. I mean, ACT is, my first child. VIP Orbit is my second child. They each have different personalities. But this second one I've learned more, and it's improved over what ACT, was originally and what it was meant to become, plus taking advantage of the technology today. It is all about networking. Why are we all here? We're all here to network, obviously. But there's something more important to me that you have to understand precedes that. I mean, Greg even kind of said it. He said, I have checked you out, whatever it is you just said. He's checked us out before we came for us to be allowed to come here, right? What does that mean? We're all going to be assessing each other as we network. You're sizing me up, I'm sizing you up. You're sizing me up right now as I'm up here. Do I believe this guy or not? Right? It's your call. But every one of us is always sized up. So how are you presenting yourself? But more importantly, for that proper sizing up, what precedes everything? It's in front of you, behind you, above you, below you, and on either side of you. What is that?
Energy.
No. Well, yes, energy. But as it relates to the purpose and the achievement of successful networking, I'm not here to network. I want to successfully network. But part of that depends on, because you're going to check me out.
Wait. That's a great point, because so many people go to these darn networking groups, and you come home with a crap load of business cards, and then you do nothing with them, right? So it's not a successful networking. So what you're saying, the key is to actually go build a real relationship, or find people that you can actually commingle with, rather than just have an acquaintance. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. But no question about it. And that happens all the time. I mean, in my own desk back at my office, I must have thousands of business cards I've been given. I'm the kind of person that's disciplined, though, and understands the value of taking the time to enter that data into VIP Orbit, or once long ago, ACT, so that now I could create what is my relationship statement for myself and my company, and that is that we believe in the infinite potential of closer relationships. Wow. Think about that. The infinite potential. It starts with a first encounter. But what I was getting to, Greg, is the thing that precedes us and follows us and surrounds us is our reputation, right? Without a solid reputation, what good is networking? It will fall flat. I literally know people. I met some people a few weeks ago that I thought, because I didn't know any better, were, whoa, I would really love to work with them. But I talked to another person about the person I had was just alluding to, and they said, Mike, run, don't walk from that person. Whoa, what were they talking about? That person's reputation. So as we're always being sized up, that precedes the value and the outcome and the percentage of success toward 100%, obviously, ideally, toward the value of networking.
That's true. And people always ask, how do I qualify and rate the different speakers to Secret Knock? Here's the bottom line. We don't lie, we don't cheat, we don't steal. We're just normal people. And we say it the way it is, and we deliver what we promise. I mean, it's so simple, common sense, nothing that your grandparents and everyone always talks to that stuff. That's the bottom line, right? And people always ask, they go, why is it in the world that I give out so many books? And the truth is, they just didn't sell so good. So,
I'd like to say one more thing. ACT is the product that's acknowledged for starting the CRM industry. How many people here don't know what CRM means? Customer Relationship Management. Salesforce.com, they're a CRM company, right? I am anti-CRM, even though ACT is the product that's acknowledged as the catalyst that started it. That sounds counterintuitive. Why would I be against something that I pioneered, right? It's because, first of all, I don't believe I can manage a relationship. Can anybody here believe that I can manage Greg? Alan, can you manage Greg? No, we can't manage relationships. What I can manage is my activities, my word, my honor, my reputation. So to me, here's what CRM stands for. Critical reputation methods. That I can embrace and work on and discipline myself to become a professional. Every professional works their butt off, and you know it, right? It takes discipline to become a professional and successful. What else is new? So your choice is work hard and be a professional, or be an amateur and be lazy. Pretty easy.
That's it. John Asseroff has a great quote. It says, life is a professional sport. Play it like one and you get the results professionals get. Yes, young lady, what do you got?
What is VIP Orbit?
Okay, wait. Is that your question?
Yes, what is VIP Orbit?
What is VIP
Thank you
Orbit?
for asking. VIP Orbit is a software product that runs presently only on the Apple iPhone, iPad, and next Tuesday, I'm telling you this before the rest of the world knows it, next Tuesday, August 13th, will be the launch of the finally delivered Mac version. So we will have the trifecta of Apple products, and we sync between them if you sign up for the sync service. In honor of Secret Knock, I'm going to mention this to you, the list price, if you don't mind, my commercial. What is it? So it is the best way to manage your contacts, calendars, and communications, bar none, on your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. What does it mean to me personally? I'll tell you what it means. Right here in my pocket, on my phone, for example, and on my iPad back there, I have 1,200 contacts with almost 60 orbits. Secret Knock is one of them, and a bunch of you in it. Matter of fact, 57 of you are in it.
So an orbit, it would be like a circle or a community.
That and more. It's what I can do with an orbit. So let's say I was going to follow up from Secret Knock with everybody that's in that orbit. I obviously met you, Patrick and David. I mean, there's a bunch of you in the room here, 57. Wendy, I see Wendy in the back, right? Hey, it was great to see you at Secret Knock. That email, as a group email, will go to each of you as an individual, so it's personal, looks personal. It automatically archived in your history file, which everybody has automatically that I sent you that email, so I have a legacy of everything I've done with you. So here's the informal answer to your question. It is my on-demand, instant recall, photographic memory executive assistant in my pocket. The iPhone version, as of next Tuesday, will be free.
And here's where it gets really sexy. The whole concept is it also integrates with a lot of the social media. with Twitter and Facebook and things of that nature. So imagine you're about to have a meeting with somebody. Listen to this. You're about to have a meeting with somebody, and you put them in your little VIP orbit in your phone, and it pops up their last post they just did on Twitter and Facebook. And as soon as you go to the meeting, go, hey, by the way, how's your kid's trip to Bermuda? All of a sudden, you have all their information, and you've got all the contacts right there at your fingertips. How would that be great for relationship building? Yeah.
Okay, and where's Travis? Is Travis in the room?
Travis Searson. Yeah.
Travis, okay, so Travis came up to me earlier. I was on my iPad tapping away and inputting information in Dave Corbin's profile, and he said, get off that iPad. And I said, we kidded, but here's what I put in Dave's profile, because I learned a little bit more. Today's his birthday, so I have a user-defined field called dates. And I put birthday, August 5th, and then I went to the activities to schedule for the next 4 years, a phone call to make to Dave to wish him a happy birthday. Once that was in, that momentary input of data, Dave, don't take this the wrong way, I literally can forget about Dave 100%. I can, because I put it in there and now I can forget it. But the point is, I'll never forget it. Nothing slips through the cracks.
Yeah.
That's the discipline.
Stop back over here. Yeah.
Yes.
Are you going to do it for Android PC?
Am I going to do it for Android? I get the question all the time. Yes, we will be doing for Android, but there is no single Android. There's over 400 different versions of Android. The only way I can do it is have it be cloud-based as opposed to device-based, because VIP orbit data and the code is on the device itself. No cloud dependency.
Okay, check this guy. He's actually eating a pixie stick, dude. You're going to be hopped up on like crystal meth. Seriously, what do you got? Speak out.
I have a question. How does that interact with the cloud-based Mac program now? I find when I put in a contact, somehow a few days later it's not there.
Okay, Apple has a lot of problems with iCloud, and iCloud really only is for their products. You know, the music, your photos, your email, blah, 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 right? Your address book. It doesn't deal with products like mine, especially products that have data inside products like mine. They do nothing with that. So that's why we couldn't sync via the cloud, because it's not dependable for that, nor is it designed for that. So that's why we have a service. So if you have 2 or more VIP Orbit products, or 2 or more devices, iPhone, iPad, and or Mac, you need to subscribe to VIP Sync for $5 a month or $45 a year. I mean, the cost of the Mac version, fully engaged, $99. What I started to say for Secret Knox, so next Tuesday the 13th is the global launch. We're going to have a 50% off price until September 30th. So if you want to get it, you can get it for 50% off. But I'm telling you this, Secret Knox, it's going to go under the radar on the Apple App Store and the Mac App Store, for Mac versions on the Mac App Store, for $30 for 3 days. If you just go there, you'll
just send me the email and I'll send it out to everybody. You guys want the email when it comes out? Yeah. So wait, moving forward, I got a quick question though. Is that, how did you feel when you had this aha moment? Did you feel kind of reborn again? Born again?
Did I feel that's an understatement. So, I'll use any how. No, I'm going to reenact what I was having. By the way, I want to introduce my wife, who's with me here at the Secret Knock, Janet. If Janet wouldn't mind standing up, just to. Oh my gosh. This really gets personal, isn't it? I was single. One of the tragedies of the success of ACT was I lost a 19-year marriage back in 1990. I was single for 15 years. And I dated women, 1 or 2 times, but women, I'm sorry. Greg said we would tell it like it is. The problem that I encountered, this is just my experience, not an implication on women. But I would see their picture and they would be 20 to 50 pounds less than they really were, or 10 to 20 years younger than they really were. And so the moment I would meet them, inside of my mind, instantly I was angry. Because I felt they deceived me. I was going to find out what you really looked like. Why did you put a picture 20 years ago, right? So I don't trust people if you deceive me. That was a tip-off right away. So how did I meet Janet? Well, first of all, Janet looked like her picture. I fell in love with her dimples and her smile and her teeth and just her eyes, that brightness in her eyes. We met 10 years ago via Yahoo Personals.
Go figure, right?
We dated for 3 years and we've been married for 7.
Yeah, very cool.
you gave birth to your first child, it cost you your life, your marriage, etc.
Yep.
And then you took a reprieve.
Yep.
And you enjoyed life, and then...
I did and I didn't.
And then you
It
hit
was
depression, okay?
Yeah.
So with your second child,
Yeah.
what have you done different in raising this second child and still maintain a life?
Yeah,
Great question.
No, it is a great question, and it's a tough question to answer. But let me get back to the epiphany, and I'll come back and answer your question then. Okay, I promise.
I'm writing it down.
So here's what happened. I had a yearning in my, really a yearning, I don't know how else to describe it, in my gut. And in June of 2009, I literally took out my iPhone at the time, it was a 3, the first one, and I drew the size of that rectangle on a piece of paper, as many as could fit on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, and I started to say, you know, if I were to do this for an iPhone, what would the screens look like? Because it's a lot less real estate. And I started to doodle. And I still have those original documents at home, but I put them on the shelf. Fast forward to November 2nd issue in 2009 of Business Week magazine. The cover story was apps, and it was about this huge new economy, new opportunity, new mobile world we were going to live in. And I'm sitting there in my robe. Janet was there, that's why I had introduced her, because she could attest to this. So I'm sitting quietly in my home office, in my robe, in the middle of the week, reading this, probably not shaven or showered, which she often encourages me to do, as I did. And I looked at this article, finished it, and this is what happened. I stood up, and this is what I said myself. Please excuse my language, okay? I said, holy shit, I feel like I have a jihadic missile inserted up my ass and I'm not looking back. And I said, and they said, what's going on? And I said, I'm going to do it. I've done this before. I've created software. I know how to do it. I've created a software category. I know how to raise money. I know how to start a company. And it doesn't exist. And holy cow, what an opportunity. And I'm going for it. And literally, no exaggeration, you can ask her for the next, I don't know, couple of weeks. I probably slept 3, at most 4 hours a night at my desk working furiously to put together a business plan because it was the end of the year, holidays, everybody's busy. Come January 1 to be ready to raise money.
So the bottom line is you had the idea and you actually took action towards that idea.
Yeah, need was the mother of invention. Relationships are my DNA. Obviously, ACT is an outgrowth of that. I couldn't have ACT on Apple, it didn't exist. The Apple community, 525 million iPhones, 125 million tablets, about 85 million Macintoshes. Tell me that's not a big market, even if you slice it in half. Say, well, they're kids. They're not your kid target market. Fine.
All right. I'm going to move forward here. You say relationship is in your DNA.
Yeah.
So back to the question, how are you balancing your wife, your life, and business?
Yeah, no, good question. So I have to compare and contrast. In the ACT era, the success of ACT was so profound. As time went on, it consumed me, and I was in demand all over the world to speak and come, just all the opportunities that are presented when you're successful, right? And it causes a lot of stress, but I began to looking back, it became my mistress. That's the truth. It became my mistress. You think about it, you go to bed thinking about it, you wake up thinking about it, you're just constantly wanting to be with it, right? Because it's such a good feeling, it's success, and it feels good to be successful. Except I lost touch, I lost balance with the importance of leaving it at the office, and when I came home, being home. And my ex-wife told me, I'll just make this comment, she said, when you're here, you're like the couch. You're here, but you're just there. Right? Your mind is elsewhere. And, I didn't know I was going to have a divorce until one day she said, it's over, right? So what did I learn? I learned that I can't treat VIP Orbit as a mistress, but is it demanding and consuming, and do I want it to be successful? Sure. But I now am aware consciously of the need to know that Janet and our kids, between us we have 4 children and 8 grandchildren, that's a part of the life that is really my legacy and not VIP Orbit. Right? ACT was part of a journey of my life, whatever that destiny is to become for me. It's still not known by me. I won't know until my dying day, and I hope I achieve it. But it was just a part of the journey. VIP Orbit is an exciting part of my life right now, but it's not the purpose for my life. I viewed ACT as the purpose for my life back then. So it's an attitude.
And then you can ask a quick question. Just yell it.
I want to ask you about how CRM has changed over the past 40 years, not about technology, more vis-a-vis the best practices. Give an example. In '90, I'd turn off your birthday thing off back and send it to them, and I look like a hero. Today, like 400 people whom I don't even know wish me happy birthday on my Facebook wall. So, what is it that's actually working better and making relationships deeper and more profitable?
No, that's a very good question. I obviously have the benefit of starting this industry with my partner. So we're the two guys that kind of have the longest view, if you will, of this. And I don't like what it's become, what CRM has become. I really don't have any respect for it because it's viewed, in my opinion, and I talk to a lot of people, obviously, and this is a topic of conversation, just like you brought it up. CRM is nothing more, as viewed by the users, as a management tool, and you have to understand the mindset of salespeople. Now, I believe everybody sells, but who's here using a CRM system? Okay, and who here is reporting what they input in that CRM system to their manager? Just raise your hand. I want to get a sense of, so you're entering the data for your own relationships, but who's going to get it? Management. Here's the psychology of the user. It's a management tool today. They want to know what I'm doing. If I tell them everything that I'm doing, I will devalue my value to the company. They'll know everything. They can fire me. I'm out of here. So I'm not going to tell them everything. I'm going to tell them only enough to keep management off my back, but I'm going to use something else on the side. And I can't tell you how many people come to me to this day and say, there's still a lot of people using ACT. I'm really using ACT on the side. That's my real database. Or, hey, you know what? It's a bring your own device world. I'm really using VIP Orbit for the stuff I really am keeping information on people and only doing in the CRM system what I have to get paid. And so that is going to be a never-ending fight in the psychology of management and users of CRM system. Here's another thing I don't like about CRM. It's only good for inside my company, and therefore only good for customers and prospects. But if it's so important to keep information about relationships, what about the rest of my life? Where do I put that stuff? Hence VIP Orbit. I have erased the barriers between personal and business inside my company and out. The world has changed and CRM hasn't kept up with it, in my opinion. It's attempting to with adding a little S in front of it called social CRM. Okay, so what else is new though? All of us are adding a little bit of tweet and or Twitter and Facebook stuff to it, but that doesn't get down to the personal. I don't know if you know the name Michael Moritz, Sir Michael Moritz, actually, the managing director and founder of Sequoia Capital in Silicon Valley, one of the world's premier VC firms. He's speaking, I think it's next week. And here's what his topic is. Interestingly enough, the pendulum is swinging. His main vision for the future, which is his topic, is a shift back to personal. Well, holy cow, if that's not secret knock and networking, personal relationships, CRM isn't any personal anymore. I get the same thing, unsolicited, I want to be your friend. Here's the irony, to me, here's the epitome of irony. So LinkedIn is business, and we all have to drive a livelihood, right? And I blog, you heard me speak, whatever. Wouldn't it be different if you sent me a LinkedIn request saying, hey Mike, I heard you at Secret Knock, and I'd love to link up with you. In a heartbeat, I'd be glad to do it. Here's what I get on LinkedIn, which is supposed to be a connection of real meaningful value. The default, check mark. I want to add you to my professional network. No, this is thanks, Jim, nothing. I want to add you to my professional network. Well, what I've done is I've hidden the ability for you to see everybody that's linked up to me, so I accept because it costs me nothing, but you don't get the satisfaction of relational voyeurism, which is what social media is in many ways. It's the illusion of relationships, it's superficial, and it's voyeurism. And my relationships I protect. Real relationships are about you, and it's private information. Social media, everybody knows what's going on with Greg from a social media standpoint, which means my competition knows what's going on, and how do I differentiate myself from people? It's not that I want to know that, Greg has Alan is his wife and Colt is his son. Of course I have that in his profile. What I really want to put in there is what isn't available on social media. Things like he's got a new Corvette coming up. Wow, you see how excited he is about that? You get people to talk. Many of you obviously know me, and I'm known for the green jacket. And I've had the example this morning. People I've never met before came up to me and said, I love your green jacket. I wear it because it gets you to talk. And we start to laugh, and the thing about CRM that's lacking, there's no soul to it. And I had a soul in ACT. I have a soul in VIP Orbit. This is about emotional connections. emotional bonding and then locking it for the rest of my life based on that vision of there is, we believe in the infinite potential of close relationships. That's what I want. It's up to you two. It takes two, but I'm willing to go there if you are too. And that's what it should be about, and that's what it ain't about.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mike. All right, when you came in and you sat down, you guys all